Ahead on News Channel 5 at 5, an Illinois community calling for action after a deadly crash. Plus, a trip to the movies turned violent in Joplin. Now Missouri Southern State University is mourning the loss of one of its own. And finding a home for man's best friend, the obstacles this puppy has overcome, and the search to find him a family.
You're watching News Channel 5, where the news comes first.
Good evening, everyone. A deadly crash has an Illinois community calling for action. The accident killed a 67-year-old woman. Witnesses say she was dropping off her grandson when someone slammed into the back of her car and crashed through a fence. About 25 yards down, flowers mark the spot where the other car flipped over, killing the woman inside. And people who live around Route 140 near Bethalto say this scene is becoming all too familiar. Covering the story is News Channel 5's Stephanie Diffin, who was on the scene earlier today.
Most of the glass was down here.
For Tina Dixon, the sights and sounds from Friday night are still very fresh.
I thought it was thunder.
But she would soon find out it was something much worse.
And we just ran out the door to see what we could do to help.
She found a 7-year-old boy, scared and confused.
I just kind of held the little boy so he wouldn't see anything.
He told Tina his grandmother was dropping him off. He seemed to be okay, but his grandmother, 67-year-old Kathleen Milton, wouldn't make it.
First thing I thought was this could have been me with my granddaughter.
Especially since Tina says she often fears for her safety driving down this stretch of roadway. She lives just east of Meadowbrook. It's where a curve and sloping hill come just as the speed limit increases.
They just hit the gas and start going.
And this could be further proof of the danger here. This is debris from a separate crash less than a month ago and just a few houses down. It happened right in front of Carolyn Rader's home.
Oh my gosh, did we hear it?
Carolyn says she looked out her window to see the aftermath of a crash between a pickup and ambulance.
It sent his car clear up here in the ditch across the street from my driveway.
And Carolyn says it's a scene she seems to be seeing more in recent years.
I'm scared to death, and I won't pull out either direction until I don't see any cars coming either way.
But residents here say there is a solution.
Slow down.
Because Tina says another tragedy outside her front door would just be too much.
It's very emotional.
And the other woman involved in the crash was taken to the hospital. According to police, she told officers the car in front of her stopped too quickly for her to avoid it. A shooting at a movie theater left one man dead in Joplin, Missouri. Missouri Southern State University's football coach was shot and killed at the North Star 14 theaters. 37-year-old Derek Moore was shot while leaving the theater and later died in the hospital. Investigators have not found a motive, but did arrest 39-year-old Jeffrey Bruner in connection with the case. They say the shooting was not random. The university's homecoming game against Lindenwood was canceled tonight to mourn Moore's death. Police are searching for the man who tried to rob this Moto Mart in Fairview Heights. He walked into the store on North Illinois Street armed with a gun early this morning and got away on foot. Not clear, though, what the suspects look like or if he got away with anything. Investigators are studying the surveillance video to piece together what happened. If you know anything, you are urged to call police. New tonight, a family of 5 in Godfrey, Illinois need a new place to live after a fire damaged their home. It happened in the 3300 block of St. Anthony Drive around 10:30 this morning. The family says smoke from the fire damaged their home and many of their belongings. Many of their things like bikes and furniture are charred. A husband and wife and 3 children lived there. They're all okay. Investigators are still trying to figure out a cause. Drivers who take I-64 before you head out the door, listen up. We have a traffic alert. The area is I-64 at Tower Grove. 2 east and westbound lanes are shut down between Kings Highway and Tower Grove. MoDOT is shifting traffic all weekend. The best bet to avoid a traffic headache, take I-44 or I-70 instead. And here's the good news. The lanes are set to reopen tomorrow morning at 7. An unfortunate dog will hopefully get a new home. The Open Door Animal Sanctuary in House Springs hosted a welcome home adoption party for Dodger. The 4-month-old mix was shot in the spine with a pellet gun. Last September, he was found dragging himself along Highway 30 in Jefferson County. And thanks to hydrotherapy, The puppy can finally use both of his back legs. There's still a $2,000 reward to find whoever hurt the little guy. Ahead tonight, honoring our local veterans, the extra mile one couple took to give back to our nation's heroes. And daylight saving time kicks in overnight. The other tips you'll want to remember on top of setting your clocks back.
Today on Show Me St. Louis, bugs, bugs, and more bugs. An exhibit that not only lets you play with them, but you can eat them too.
They are chocolate chip cookies with roasted crickets in them.
Usually a little bit better.
And then how about a beautiful adult getaway? Find out which vineyard makes their own award-winning wines in Missouri. Plus, whiskey, anyone?
There's not a person in the world that doesn't like whiskey. There's just people that don't know they like it yet.
If you don't believe him, just keep watching. Show Me St. Louis starts now.
Hello, welcome to Show Me St. Louis. I'm Julie Tristed. Well, did you know the United States and Canada are two of only a few countries who do not eat bugs? Are we missing out or something? That's just one of the things that we learned at the St. Louis Science Center's new bug exhibit.
Harry.
His name's Harry.
Yeah.
We are at the St. Louis Science Center here, where Harry has brought his big adventure. It's presented by Terminex. We have live animal exhibits here. We have an insect petting zoo.
I cannot.
I'm going to be introducing people to the world of entomophagy, which is insect eating. Insects are high in protein, they're low in fat, they're high in carbohydrates. I have pulled out some mealworm salsa. Oh yeah, this game. You don't really even taste the bugs, right? These are chocolate chip cookies. They are chocolate chip cookies with roasted crickets in them.
These are usually a little bit better with coffee, but I'll try one this morning. Really good.
Shield your eyes to one of racing's most grueling events. One, I look like Papa to get started. Look like Roachy Bobby is pretty close. It's gonna be Roachy Bobby and Papa. Who are making the body? It's pretty cool. It's the black theory. It's gonna be black. Yeah!
We have a house exhibit where the kids can pretend like they're little Terminex inspectors. They have their little clipboard and their little hat.
Where's the fleas?
We have a fun little duck bubble exhibit where we have predaceous diving beetles swimming around in there. Kids love bugs, and we're trying to foster that interest by the children.
What are you doing over here?
I'm trying to catch a butterfly.
You can see how colorful, how pretty, how useful they are to the survival of the earth. And then we hope maybe people will change their minds, especially at the petting zoo area, where we have some hissing cockroaches that people can touch, and some millipedes and some mealworms. If you break down that barrier between the cage and the animal and you let people touch it, then they tend to appreciate it more.
Are you telling me a tarantula is not dangerous?
No, it really isn't. There are no deadly tarantulas in the world. Really, the most potent venom in a tarantula would be no worse than 2 bee stings at the same time.
Oh, I don't even like being this close just to pretend. Ugh. I am not too crazy about tarantulas, that's for sure, but your kids might be. Discover insects at the Harry's Big Adventure My Bug World exhibit at the Science Center from now until January 20th. Ticket info for the exhibit is available at slsc.org.
Did you hear?
Hearing Pro wants to know if you've heard Disney's Beauty and the Beast is coming to town. See the lavish costumes and the unforgettable characters come to life on stage. From November 1st to the 3rd, you can experience a night of romance and enchantment at the fabulous Fox Theater. Oh, and by the way, it's kids' night before and after the Friday show. Find out how your little one can have a Q&A with the cast and eat free by visiting fabulousfox.com. Halloween's just around the corner, and the Central West End wants you to join them for their trick-or-treat festivities. The 30th annual Halloween celebration takes place October 26th from 11 in the morning to 11 at night on Euclid and Maryland Avenues. Expect family-friendly parades and a Pooches in Costume contest during the day, but night it's just for the adults. At 8 p.m. there is an adult costume party and contest with a $3,000 cash prize. The city of Kimmswick is bringing back its annual Apple Butter Festival, November 26th and the 27th. A free shuttle will take visitors to and from their cars, but pack up your walking shoes because each day from 10 to 5 there are more than 150 vendors that you can visit. There's also pumpkins to carve and plenty of live entertainment. When you go, look for the Apple Butter Pavilion. That's where you will find the Kimmswick Historical Society selling their famous apple butter. Delish. If you're looking for a mature day getaway, Corrine Savitsky might know of just the place. Recently, she visited Noble Ice Vineyard, where I bet the scenery was pretty breathtaking.
Yeah, Julie, some of the best around. They make 17 different wines on their Augusta vineyard, and it's hard to believe they've only been open since 2010.
Autumn on the vineyard can be summed up with one word.
Crazy. This is the busy time of year. The grapes are becoming ripe now and being harvested and processed and turned into juice, which we will turn around and ferment into wine.
Despite the work going on behind the scenes, fall is also the perfect time to visit the winery.
Oh, look around. It's gorgeous. The weather's nice. It's a beautiful view.
Noble Ice Vineyards sits in the rolling hills of Missouri wine country.
This is the Augusta appellation. It's a viticultural district, which means it's an area set aside by the government specifically suited for growing grapes. This was the first appellation in all of the United States back in 1980. We have 84 acres of land and 12 acres of grapes that are planted.
17 blends are produced on premise.
From the time we grow the grapes to the time we process it to the time it's made and bottled, everything happens right here on the property. So I have full control over the entire process. This is red grapes. These are Norton grapes that are fermenting.
The vineyards are harvested and winemaking is underway.
And so what happens is we get this fermenting juice down in the bottom and we get dry skins on top. And so we're not extracting anything that way. So we use this big stainless steel rod and we come and we push these down in there and get lots of nice extraction this way.
Many of the wines are named after things found out here on the vineyard, like this broken fence. And you'll find this tree on every label.
In this view in the background, you can see the Catholic Church steeple just in the background. We use that to name one of our blended wines. It's called Steeple View.
Amongst the award-winning wines, there's something for every palate.
But really, we get one shot at this every year.
A year's work aged to perfection, served in every pour.
Noble Ice is located in Augusta and is open daily until 5. For more information on tasting events or to find out which retailers sell their wine, head to nobleicevineyards.com. Julie?
I'm going to need you to get in there with your feet next time and get that wine out of those grapes, though, Corrine.
Hey, I'm up for it. I'm all about it.
Good job. Thanks, Corrine. There's a new restaurant taking a modern twist on whiskey and food, coming off the unusual dishes they serve and why you will fall in love with whiskey, even if you weren't a fan before. How they'll change your mind after the break.